Hello, I'm Andrew from the Planet eStream team. One of the nice features of the Planet eStream digital signage platform is its ability to link into other platforms and dynamically update content. For example, you may want to create a signage screen displaying the day's menu, but you might not want to give the dining room manager access to the signage platform. You may want them to update the menu items from an external source that they're familiar with, such as, in this case, we'll use Google Slides. So it's a really simple process, and to do this, first of all, you need to log into Google Slides, which of course you need a Google account. So log in as normal. Easiest way to find it is either from the top right of the Chrome browser, or just do a search for Google Slides and you'll get this page. So enter Google Slides. It's a pretty simple way to create the menus, I think. It actually works very similarly to PowerPoint, and you can import and open PowerPoint presentations actually within Google Slides. So I'm going to start with a blank presentation. Because I'm creating a menu, I'm going to create a vertical menu. So I'm going to go to File, Page Setup. I'm going to then select a custom size. Now, of course, you don't have to do this. You can just create a landscape full screen slide if you wish. But I'm going to make this one 5" by 10, which should give us a vertical. Okay, so here's my menu. So I'm going to now create a menu. So I'm just going to put menu of the day. Okay, anybody that's familiar with things like PowerPoint, etc., it is very, very similar in the way that it works. Pick fonts. So I'll pick one that's quite nice. Put that there. Okay, for this demo, I'll just put line numbers. Obviously, these would be the menu items. Sure, that's enough. Okay. Okay, so they're my menu items. Okay, so I'll just put a background in just to make it look a little bit more interesting. I have a plugin on here called Unsplash, which is just a nice way of getting images, but you can obviously use your own. Yep, Unsplash is not part of the default menu system. When you go into Google Slides, you will have to go to add-ons and get add-ons, and you'll see it listed in there if you want to use this. It's quite a nice way of getting images. So I'm going to use this one as my background. So if I click on that, yeah, there it goes. It goes in as a background. Obviously I want it to be in the background, so if I right click on it, select order and send backwards, there we go. So that's my menu. Obviously you can do lots with this. We can format, go to format options, we can put drop shadows on, etc, etc. We've got the parameters, etc, that we can change. Anyway, that's my my menu slide. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So what we need to be able to do though is share it with the relevant person. So to do that, you simply go to share, top right, because at the moment it is private to you. Yeah, you give it a name, obviously. So I'm just going to call it daily menu. Okay, and then I enter the email address for the person that I want to give permissions to change that menu, which would be, in this case, the catering manager. Okay, I'm not going to bother. Okay, so once it's done, all we need to do is we need to go to File. Yeah, and we need to select the bottom here called Publish to the Web. Yeah, And what we want is we want the embed code. So if I go over here to embed, yeah, and then I hit publish, what we're interested in is this piece of code here, this iframe. So if I copy that iframe, yeah, that's all I have to do. I can close that now if I wish. Now you go into your Planet eStream system. All you have to do then is obviously go to your signage. Okay, so once we're in the signage, what we need to do is obviously create the menu page. Once that's done, we'll insert that slide and save it, and then ongoing, whenever the catering manager wants to change the menu items, they simply have to change this Google slide that you shared with them previously. So let's create a new one. So I go to Screen Designer, yeah, and then new, give it a name. Okay, so I'll just create a very basic screen design for this. I'm just going to pick a background colour. Yeah, I might want to, put other items in there, so I could put things like RSS feeds. But these, this is entirely up to you when you're designing what content that you want on there. I'll put a little clock in the corner as it's signage. Okay, so at this point, what I'm going to do is add my Google Slides. So this icon bottom left, Google Slides, when I click that, it'll add a panel for me, which I can then size. Yep. And then over here to the right, I'll get the attributes of the Google Slides panel. So I'm going to paste that embed code directly into there. Paste. Okay. So now if I preview my screen, top, middle, yeah, there's our menu. So I can either make it a little bit bigger, or I can do that sort of thing to get rid of the border. Yeah, and that's my slide. So that's completely dynamic. So when I just save that, yeah, so if I just preview that, so we've got obviously a clock and all that sort of stuff, but we've got menu of the day and our 5 lines. Now, if I go back to the menu, so we'll pretend that the menu's changed, so I'm just going to call that one okay, so I've simply just changed that Google slide. So if I go back into the designer and preview that, you'll see that that change has been reflected in on your signage. So it's a really simple way of creating an asset externally, in this case Google Slides, simply giving that link to the catering manager. They don't then have to do anything at all with the signage platform. All they have to do is be responsible for changing the Google slide when the menu changes, and that change or those changes will be reflected in the signage. I hope that helps. Thank you very much.